And welcome back to the show. Welcome back to Boozhoo Nanaboozhoo, the podcast about Ojibwe language and culture. I am Natasha Nindisha. Over here, the star of the show.
Get out of here, will you?
Mr. Nanaboozhoo. He'll be coming out. And over here, Michael Lyons.
Hello, everybody.
And yeah, welcome back to the show. Oh, woo, we got a good show. We got a good show for today. Okay. Man, that's such a cool intro.
I know, huh?
I can't believe it. The show has really grown. So how you doing, guys? Welcome back to the
Boozhoo
Nanaboozhoo live stream podcast about Ojibwe language and culture. And it is Abatuse. It's Wednesday. Or it's Abatuse means halfway in Ojibwe for Wednesday. Okay? Hey. Everything rhymes.
Yep.
Abatuse. I've got to say halfway in Ojibwe is Abatuse. Abatuse. I've got to say Abatuse for Wednesday. Abatuse, because it's halfway through the work week.
Yep.
And so there's that. And let's take a look at an gibberish cartoon. Michael, you wanna preface this cartoon with anything?
I don't even know which one it is.
Oh, okay. Well, this is a cartoon that Michael Lyons drew, and it's from his comic strip called OJIBWE. And if you'd like to order the book, OJIBWE, click the link down below to Amazon. Michael's got a bunch of cartoons and comic books and a couple of coloring books, and they all have to do with the Ojibwe language. But this is kind of what he does. Umbe! Or this is a cartoon. So, here's a little Ojibwe. Actually, it's a Ojibwe. It's a gray squirrel. Ojibwe. And he's saying, Umbe! Nagamo! Mudway! He's like, come on, sing, drum. And there's a little Wagosh, a little fox. And he's like, yeah, okay, that's why we're here. And AC Bun, the raccoon, he's like looking at us going, can you believe these guys? This is a cartoon. And it teaches Ojibwe language. Umbe. Come on, Umbe. You might have heard your grandma say, hey, Umbe, Wisanin. Umbe, Wisanin da. Come on, let's eat. And then you got Nagamo. Nagamo means sing. You know. Nagamun is a song. Nagamo, sing. It's like a command. Come on, sing. He wants to be entertained. And then there's Mudway. Mudway is like drum, start drumming. Mudway. And you'll notice there's a little hyphen there, or apostrophe, I guess. Mudway. And that's kind of like, I always say, it's sort of like that dash in the word uh-oh, uh-oh. You know how it's like UH-OH, uh-oh. Well, when you see a little apostrophe like that, it's like, but what? You gotta kind of, And that means to drum, but not to be confused with deweigan. The drum itself is called a deweigan. And like this would be a deweigan natig. It'd be a drumstick. Wait-a-hey, wait-a-hey, wait-o, wait-o. Welcome to Boozhoo Nanaboozhoo. Hey, da, hey, ya, hey, ya, hey, oh. Oh, you're not supposed to be drumming on a drum. That's just for the boys. You should never sit at a drum if you're a girl. That's one of those old rules. They say, oh, you ladies, you stay away from that drum. You're too powerful, they say. Anyway, so this is, oh, gibberish. Umbe. Come on. Nagamo. Sing. Madwe. Drum. And these are your Ojibwe words of the day. All right. Okay. Having said that, you want to get up here, sweetheart?
Sure.
Okay, everybody. Let me get rid of these things. Okay. Up next, we're going to invite to the show the man of the hour himself, Nanaboozhoo. Take it away, baby.
Thank you, sweetheart. Okay, hey, Boozhoo. And welcome back to the show. Welcome back, Jessica Gonzalez, Mino Giga Jib, and Papa Wagosh. Papa Wagosh, I really liked your drawings of those Wagosh, what is it, Wagosh Wug? Wagosh, whatever. Wagoshes on the Boozhoo Cruise site. That was really cool. And Jim, and Boozhoo Niji, how are you? Welcome back to the show. Sweetie, that was really good. Boy, you covered a lot of Ojibwe in a very short amount of time.
Yeah, I know, huh?
I guess I have nothing else to talk about. I mean, Abatuse is halfway. I think we probably covered that last Wednesday. I mean, what can be said about Wednesday? Although today is kind of an anniversary of sorts. It's the anniversary of the death of the artist formerly known as Prince.
Yeah, he died. What was it, like 3 or 4 years ago?
Something like that. Old Prince started his journey. The artist formerly known as, alive. And one of my favorite memes that came up after that. Dig, if you will, this picture. Remember how, like, in the end of Prince's life, he grew his hair out, started wearing the afro again? Dig, if you will, a picture of me and Weenie Mushane engaged in a kiss. Ah! The sweat of your body covers me. Can, my darling, can you dig this picture? I dig it, Prince. I wonder if Prince ever painted anything. We should look into that. But, on our theme of kind of covering good paintings and stuff, the only reason he's not taken seriously is that he was on TV. But Bob Ross was a fantastic artist. Not just a good painter. His almost photoreal nature scenes are just glorious. And he showed you firsthand the talent he had. He could make one of these paintings in like 20 minutes. So, of course, art teachers never cared. But Bob Ross was great, I think. Not that I would hang one of those on my wall, but... Dig, if you will, a picture of you and I engaged in a kiss. The sweat of your body covers me. Ah, but to say means halfway Wednesday. Dream, if you will, a courtyard, an ocean of violets in bloom. He was quite some poet, that Prince. Dream, if you will, a courtyard of oceans of violets in bloom. and the most animals. It took me 20 years to realize he wasn't singing and the most strike curious poses. He's saying animals strike curious poses. What is that? I'm curious. Because they feel the heat. This heat. The heat between me and you, sweetie. These animals, they strike a curious pose. Well, isn't that strange? I feel the heat between those two. Maybe I'm just like my father. He's never satisfied. Wait, how's it go? Maybe you're just like my mother. She's never satisfied. Why do we scream at each other? This is what it sounds like when doves cry. Why? I've never heard a dove cry. What do they mean when doves sing? If you guys listen really close, you can hear the birds outside sing here. I don't think they're doves, though. I don't know. When doves cry. Hey, sweetie. Yeah? You got a phone call. Yeah, okay. On line 2? Yep, line 2. Caller, welcome to the Boozhoo Nanaboozhoo podcast. You're on the air.
Yes, Nanaboozhoo. It is I, Migazy, and cause.
Oh, Eagle, Migazy. Welcome to the show. So nice to have you call in. What can I do for you?
Yes, well, you see, I couldn't help but notice that quite a lot of attention is being put on the dove today. The dove of all the birds. I mean, come on.
What's your problem with the dove?
I mean, I have no problem with the dove per se. I just think doves need to stay in their own country.
Aren't doves American?
Not like me. I am Migazy. I am the most American of all the birds.
Is that even true? Are you indigenous to North America?
Well, of course I'm indigenous to North America. What do you think? I'm the American symbol.
Well, yeah, but I heard once that Ben Franklin wanted to make the turkey be the American symbol because he said it was indigenous, and you were not.
Well, that's preposterous. You're going to listen to Ben Franklin? I mean, the guy couldn't even see.
Well, yeah, I know. He invented the bifocal, I guess.
Yeah, I don't take advice from people with nearsightedness.
You don't?
No, that's ridiculous. I'm an eagle. I got excellent eyesight.
Oh, yeah, I suppose you do, huh? You have eagle eyesight.
That's right. It's one of my many superior qualities. And so when I hear you singing around about the measly dove, I mean, where's the song about the eagle?
There's lots of songs about eagles. There's like On Eagle's Wings, Eagle, there's a band named after you, the Eagles.
Yeah, that's right. They're a pretty good band. Hotel California and all that.
Yeah. So anyway, what can I do for you? Anyway, did you just call to gripe that we were... I'm actually talking about Prince. Did you like Prince?
Prince the singer?
No, the Henry. Yeah, Prince the singer.
Oh, yeah, you see, it's pretty good. I was more of a Springsteen fan.
You were more of a Springsteen fan?
Yeah, I like The Boss. I listened to The Boss back in the day.
Yeah. It seemed like when I was a kid, there were two types of people. Bruce Springsteen fans and Prince fans. They had a lot of hits at the same time. But I don't think those audiences crossed over much. I mean, a little bit. Because, there was that Born to Run or whatever. Or no, Born in the USA. I think that came out at the same time that Purple Rain came out, huh?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So I don't know. So you prefer Bruce Springsteen, huh?
Yeah, I do. He's the boss.
Yeah. What about that one creepy song? Hey, little girl, is your daddy home? Did he go and leave you all alone?
Yeah, no, I don't care for that one. I don't care for that one at all.
Yeah, I mean, who's he singing to? A little girl? Why does he need to know? I don't know. And he turned out to be kind of a creep in the end. You know, he's a little too involved in politics for my taste.
Yeah, I say, get back to singing, Bruce. Nobody wants to hear your stupid opinions on the election.
Yeah, huh? All right. Well, hey, man, I better let you go. I got to get back to the show.
All right. Well, hey, you're doing a great job, son.
Well, thank you, Migazy. And you call back anytime.
All right. Well, hey, let me just say, Gigawaba Min, Minawa.
Yeah, okay, you too, Neej. Gigawaba Min, Minawa. Migazy, sweetie.
Yeah, it's been a while since he's called in.
Yeah, huh? An old symbol of our freedom. Symbol of America. You know? You can't just shoot an eagle and cook them up, you know. And yet, you know, the eagle is actually the cousin to the chicken. You know, I wonder how he feels about everybody eating his cousin, the chicken. So, hey, it looks like Missy's here. Boozhoo, Missy. Keep your res dogs apart. Hey, boys. There's a bear in between the two res dogs. Jesse says, the here between Nanaboozhoo and Natasha is what makes America stand up straight in the African savannah. That's right. Whatever that means. The here between Nanaboozhoo and Natasha. The here between. The space between. The wicked lies. You know, Prince was one of the first celebrity conspiracy theorists that kind of came out. You know. He always had all kinds of weird, like, spiritual, religious ideas. And then, you know, part of the reason why he changed his name was that he had some, you know, issue with the record company and all that. But around that time, that was the first time I ever heard somebody say this. This is my favorite Prince quote. When I found out there was 8 presidents before George Washington, I wanted to smack somebody. 8 presidents. And when I found out that Prince doesn't know how to properly use was and were, hey, Prince, it's when I found out there were 8 presidents before George Washington, you wanted to smack somebody. Were, it's plural. Was is singular. Come on, man. Didn't you go to school? Whoops. I didn't mean to do that. Hold on a second, you guys. So yeah, then I looked it up, and sure enough, George Washington was the first president after they wrote the Declaration of Independence, or the Constitution. He was the first constitutional president, but there were 8 guys before him. In, you know, they say like 1776, they wrote the Declaration or the Constitution or whatever. From 1975 or 1775 to 1777, you know who the president was?
Who's that?
John Hancock.
John Hancock, the guy with the big signature?
Yeah,
Well, that's probably why he signed his name so big on that document.
exactly. He was the president at the time. How do you like that? You know, poor old John Hancock. He works his way up, spends his whole life in like government service. Finally, you know, becomes a, betrays the crown, comes over to the new country and starts a country, works his way up in politics, wins the popular vote, becomes the president of America. I don't know if it was called the United States yet. And then writes up the Constitution or the Declaration of Independence or whatever it is. I don't know. Truth be told, the show's not really that educational. But, and then George Washington steals all the thunder. Why? I'm guessing that maybe, I want to believe that some of those guys weren't Freemasons. We know George Washington was. We know he was a Baphomet Luciferian. They call him, they had a weird religion. Theists or whatever. But they were all part of that creepy, I don't have to go into too much. But I'm thinking he was the head dog of the secret society. And so they made him king. And John Hancock was like this really smart dude, who did all the work. And then history just forgot about. Didn't forget about it, just went on. Let's not mention those first 8 guys ever. Let's wait until Prince uncovers this. And then luckily, you can just Google it. It's not a conspiracy. It's because it's just right there. Nobody denies it, except you go, well, how much of that story is not told? Or is the story we do know, that part, truthful? I kind of doubt it. I got my suspicions. And no, take it easy, middle school teachers. I'm not calling you liars. You're teaching what you were taught. It's not a lie if you believe it when you teach it. But, when you grow up and you revisit the fairy tale stories that history actually is, what they teach you. Once upon a time, back in the days of the grandfathers, there was a young boy named George Washington who never told a lie. Oh, he said so good. He would never tell a lie. But one day he chopped down a cherry tree. Is that symbolic of something? Don't know. But he chops down a cherry tree, right? And his father comes in, furious. And he goes, who chopped down my cherry tree? Who chopped down my prized cherry tree? Do you know how long it's taken me to raise that tree from a little sapling to the tree it is today? All my life, I dreamed that one day, when I was your age, George, I planted that cherry tree. I said to myself, someday this tree will be great and mighty. And my son and I will go sit in the shade of the cherry tree, feasting on cherries. But then somebody went out there and cut it down. When I find out who did that, you don't even want to know what I'm going to do to him. But let me ask you first, son, you look me in the eye and you tell me the truth. Did you cut down that cherry tree? Did you? Father, I cannot tell a lie. I did not chop down that cherry tree. And so, nothing much else happened until he became the president. And he was such a good president, the people decided to carve his face on Mount Rushmore. And this is why we celebrate President's Day. And we say the Pledge of Allegiance. And we sing songs to worship our founding fathers. Because they found this land. It was just sitting here. Nobody even knew it was here. I mean, except for the millions of people who lived here. But nobody in, his neck of the woods knew it was here. Or something. I mean, I guess they discovered it 400 years earlier. Or how does that work? 1492, Columbus sails the ocean blue. 1776. So we got like 100 some years going on here. For the founding fathers. I don't know. I'm not a fan of the public school history education. Teachers really demand a lot of respect when what they actually do is tell fairy tales and, are are babysitters for teenagers. Sorry. I'm assuming anybody watching the show right now is not a teacher because they have to be in class right now. Hoka, hey, the heat. That's right. I think Jessica's qualifying something. I don't remember what she wrote. Oh, the heat between Nanaboozhoo and Natasha. Yeah, the heat between me and you, sweetie. People in New Jersey love the boss, but I'd take Prince over Springsteen any day. That's right. Bruce Springsteen rules New Jersey. Do you guys love Bon Jovi too? And is Billy Joel from New Jersey? For 52nd Street. New Jersey's got a lot of good music, actually. Missy says, settle down, English major. I think that's a dig at you, Michael. Why? Because I majored in English? Yep. Yeah. Michael's a stickler. Schrodinger's continent. Schrodinger's continent. Schrodinger's. What is he talking about? Schrodinger's. I don't know. But yeah, so that was my education on who George Washington was. I think his wife, was his wife a transgendered cross-dressing weirdo? Or maybe it was Betsy Ross. If you look at the old pictures of some of these so-called women in history, they're obviously men in wigs. I mean, yeah, all the guys wore wigs, but there was a lot of creepy, this transgender movement is nothing new. All these weirdos in positions of power have rituals of wearing women's clothing and stuff like that. Billy Joel is from Long Island. Yeah, that's right. He's from Long Island. 52nd Street. Gonna have a little soul parade. But yeah, Prince. So, that was a pretty sentimental day when Prince died. Because everybody was reminded of how important those songs were to setting a mood when they were making out in a car in 1985. Purple rain, purple rain. You got to find a good place to park. Somewhere in the woods where you can also make a good getaway. You don't want to get blacked, So take your best girl down to like the gullies. That's a good place to go. Go park on the edge of the lake there. And then make sure you got plenty of batteries for your boombox. Pop in that cassette tape of Purple Rain. At first it's going to be a lot of dance songs, but, you turn down those, maybe that's not such a good song to make out to. I don't know. Purple rain, purple rain. I wonder if Prince will be reincarnated as, Liberace or something. Well, Liberace died before he died, so I don't think so. Oh, yeah. I guess that doesn't really work that way. I don't know. Do you believe in reincarnation? Do I believe in reincarnation? I don't know. Not really. I mean, it could be. Who knows? I believe in a soul, so everything's kind of on the table. Yeah, huh? Hey, you know what we should do? What? Can you ring up the Dalai Lama? And I'll ask him about reincarnation. Okay. We're going to talk to His Holiness Dalai Lama. Hold on, I got to Google his number. Dalai Lama. Does he have a real name? That's a good question. Oh, no, here it is. The Dalai Lama. His Holiness. Cell and home. Okay, I'm just going to ring his home number. All right. It's ringing.
Hi, is this the Dalai Lama? Would you like to be on the Boozhoo Nanaboozhoo podcast? Okay, hold on, I'm going to transfer you. Okay, he's on line 2.
On line 2. Dalai Lama, welcome to the show. Sorry? Yeah, I'm doing real good. Say, can I ask you a question? Are you saying a question is something you get asked a lot and you'll try to help me if you can? Well, it's hard for me to understand because you don't enunciate real. Enunciate. Well, I wasn't born in this country. Well, I know you weren't born in this country, but for crying out loud, how long have you lived in America? I'm not. Oh, you're not? Where are you? Oh, really? Did we call it south of France?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, I didn't know that. You live in south of France, huh? Oh, cool. Well, anyway, can I ask you a question about reincarnation? Yeah, sure. Well, my question is, when you die, do you come back as another person, or are you reincarnated into an animal? What do the Buddhists believe? Well, I've always thought all of them is a planet of Daniel's truth. That's why yeah, I see. Yeah, no kidding. That's true. Yeah. They found him guilty on everything. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, in a way, I think you gotta wonder if the jury didn't feel kind of bullied by the mob. Yeah, Maxine Waters was just one of thousands of people threatening, violence if they didn't get their way. I don't know. They probably did riot anyway, but as it stands, last I heard was that he was found guilty on all accounts. So like murder. Oh, okay. Well, I don't know. Yeah. No, I didn't care either way, honestly. I never brought it up because, you kind of pretend to be outraged by current event stuff. Oh, I can't believe it. Yeah. But the reality is, whether that guy went to jail or was set free had nothing to do with me. My life would go on exactly the same. I can't be bothered with getting sucked into, these dumb, oh, let's go riot, let's go protest unless, justice is served. Well, I live in some ways it feels like it's happening not far from here because I'm in Minnesota, but I'm way up north. Oh yeah, well, it takes like 4.5, 5 hours to get to the airport from here. So, that's another world. It's got nothing to do with me. Oh yeah. No, you've been a big help actually. That cleared up everything. So, what you gonna do today? Oh, really? You smoke weed? I didn't know that. All right. Well, hey, man, you have a great day. All right. Yeah, you too, Niji. Wow. He wanted to know about the Chauvin trial. Did he really? Yeah. So, I don't know. I didn't really follow that at all. I'm kind of, what do you call it? Saturated. It's too much. I'm sick of it. I'm bored with it. I'm bored with being glued to the news. Oh, what's going to happen today? So, and that was the truth. I had no emotional vested interest. Sorry, Black Lives Matter people. I didn't care one way or the other. I honestly wasn't that outraged when it happened. Oh no, get off that guy's back. Oh, I guess I saw too many Dirty Harry movies growing up. It's like, yeah, that's what cops do. You got to shoot and kill the bad guys. What? Oh, the cops going to jail now? Oh, okay. In this upside down world. Let's see what's going on down here with the Boozhoo crew. America is Schrodinger's continent. Schrodinger's. Simultaneously discovered, unknown until we look at it. Oh, Schrodinger. Yeah, it's like that cat in a box. It's there. He's dead and alive at the same time. America didn't even exist until Columbus saw it. Well, that's one of my favorite dumb stories of Columbus that people think is real. They say when the original people, native people, saw the boats coming over, they couldn't even see them. Their mind had they couldn't fathom such great ships until a medicine man had to go up and touch them on the forehead and say, look, those are ships. And then the people oh. Suddenly they appeared on you might have heard this one. I think it was in that movie, What the Bleep Do We Know? And you go, what? Number one, how would you know that? Who wrote that story down? What in the native language they translated, and it's, hey, what was that like? We couldn't even see the ships. Couldn't fathom of a big canoe. And had never seen a boat before. Not that we didn't live in, on these islands in the Mediterranean. Or where were they? The Caribbean. But never saw a ship before. We're so stupid. Couldn't even see them. Oh, okay. Could you see the swords? Or were those invisible until someone explained? I hate that story. It makes Indians look dumb. Yeah, Washington slept in every house in New Jersey. Another thing our state is famous for. Washington slept here. Oh, let me go lie down in the bed where Washington slept. What a great man who, posed for a portrait with Lincoln. You get the impression through Mount Rushmore that Washington, Lincoln, Roosevelt, and the other guy, Ringo, were four friends who roam the countryside. I have a theory that Mount Rushmore used to have 6 faces on there. The Sioux people called that mountain the 6 grandfathers. And they'll show pictures. Oh, this is a picture of the mountain before Mount Rushmore. But then you go, that could be any mountain. What if that Mount Rushmore was carved thousands of years ago? And what if these stories are just, they go, oh yeah, that guy in that mountain. Well, the one guy is George Washington. And the guy with the beard, remember that story we told you about Lincoln? That's Abraham Lincoln. That's what Teddy Roosevelt, I guess there are photographs of Roosevelt. Are there photographs of Lincoln? I feel like there are. Yeah, I think there are. It shows how much I know. Well, let's see. When did they didn't start having photographs? I don't want to show how dumb I am about history. I went on a trail hike last week. Came up with this little spring. There was a sign next to it. Washington Spring. Because George Washington's horse drank from that spring. Wow, those guys treat Washington like we treat Paul Bunyan. Oh, this is a spring. Oh, this is a toilet Washington pooped in. What do they want us to do with that? It's like getting an autograph. Somebody's signed their name. Unless that's on a check for money, I don't really care about getting hey, look. You can prove that I met Donald Trump. Oh, look. He signed this piece of paper. He signed a picture. I got a photograph with his name on it that he wrote. Even when I got Paul Stanley's autograph, I just threw it away. What am I going to do with this? Hanging on the wall? Look, it's Paul Stanley's name. Of course, I kept that picture of me with him forever. But autographs are stupid. That was a thing back in the day. Get an autograph collection. Oh, look at all the celebrities I've met. I imagine it was very difficult for the jury to be impartial when the case has been all over the news. Yeah, and they always say, oh, make sure you don't watch the news. It's like, right. You're going to tell this generation who they can't even go poop without using their phone. They're not paying attention to the mob outside that says, yeah, not to, not to scare you, but if you let that cop go, we will kill your family. Just saying, we know who you are, we know where you live. Maxine Waters is packing heat. I'm afraid Maxine Waters is going to come up here next. She scares me. That old lady, she don't get around. You're going to push back even harder, she says. You take even more of those shoes out of that footlocker, says Maxine Waters. Hey, you riot even harder. That's the American way. Oh, and then there's old fat waste of suit. Old empty suit Governor Waltz. You hear him? It shouldn't, a simple traffic stop shouldn't be a death sentence. It's like, yes, agreed. What are you implying? What sort of self-hating white guy thing to say? A black man shouldn't have to fear for his life from just a simple traffic stop. It's like, yeah, nobody got shot over a simple traffic stop. Ever. These guys get shot when they're resisting arrest. At least that much. I'm not saying that they should have been. But nobody's like, hey, excuse me, sir, you were speeding. Oh, yeah, here you go, sir. Yeah. That 30 mile an hour comes up out of nowhere, doesn't it? Yeah. Oh, I was in a hurry. Those things don't end up with you getting accidentally shot to death. Oh, I forgot. Oh, is this my taser or my gun? I don't know which one's which. I'm just a little girl. Too many girls on the force, that's what I say. Oh, get out of here. That was a reasonable mistake. Do you think if you were a female cop, you would accidentally shoot somebody when you meant to tase them? I guarantee I would do that, and way worse. Yeah, me too. I'd be just as likely to tase myself. But, yeah, then that other kid. And, anytime they showed a picture of that other kid, I don't even know his name, Dante or something. They show him, like in a Boy Scout outfit, holding a little baby. Hi, I'm a straight A student. What they don't show you is that he was called Little Homicide, or Little Homicidal, or whatever his gangster name was, posing with guns and joints. Oh, he was just a little Boy Scout. These cops are just hunting. It was a black man shouldn't be killed just for a simple traffic stop, Governor Waltz. Agreed. Thank you for leading us into enlightenment. How much do you get paid? I think Governor Waltz needs another mask. One where you can't hear what he says. I think Governor Waltz needs a ball gag. Oh, okay. Okay, I'm getting too hostile. I'm sorry. Papa Wagosh says, love the absence of judgment. Tenzin Greatoso, the 14th Dalai Lama. Oh, that's his real name, Tenzin? Dalai Lama's real name is Tenzin. Oh, so we don't have to call him Your Holiness? I don't think you ever have to call him that. I just think that's what his followers call him. Oh, okay. Tenzin Gateso. Tenzin Gateso. He ain't so Gateso. That dude's slaying the ladies. You think Tenzin is gay?
I don't know. I think he's probably celibate.
Yeah. Hey, Brandy Marie's here. Boozhoo, Brandy. How are you? Good morning. Meno Giga Jeb. We got Abatu say is a Ojibwe word of the day again. What was the other one? Umbe. Let me make that a little bigger. Come on. Umbe, come on. Nagamo, sing. Come on, sing.
You make me feel like dancing. I want to dance the night away.
You make me feel like singing. I want to sing the night away.
I feel like singing. Woo, singing. Woo, sing the night away.
I feel it. Okay. And, Mudway is drum like, hey, why don't you drum?
Sweetie.
Yeah?
Mudway.
Oh, okay. I do what I'm told. I'm gonna mudway on a Dewey gun. Mudway on the Dewey gun. Wait-o, wait-o, hey-o, hey, wait-o, hey, Winnie Mushane. Mudway, Dewey gun. E-gun. Dewey gun. The drum. Oh, the drum is a sacred heartbeat of America, huh, sweetie?
Yeah. Of Mother Earth, I think you mean.
Oh, yeah. Of Mother Earth of America. That old eagle has, I got Migazy on the mind. He made me think about America. Oh, but ain't that America for you and me? Ain't that America? What would George Washington do if he were alive today? What do you think, sweetie? What would George Washington do if he was alive today?
George Washington. I think, I don't know. If he was still alive, he'd be a vampire.
Oh, yeah. He'd probably be sucking on the blood of people.
Hey, sweetie, speaking of bloodsuckers.
Yeah?
The Count's on the phone.
Oh, man, put him on. On line 2?
Yeah, line 2.
Okay, hey, Count. Welcome back to the show. Nanaboozhoo. How are you, my friend? Oh, I'm doing really good. How are you doing, Niji? I am doing very well. I tell you, I just love watching your show first thing every morning at 8 o'clock. Yep, that's right. But listen, I had a question. Yeah, what do you need? I was wondering, I would like to purchase one of those books by Michael Lyons. Oh, you mean like OJIBWE? Yes, OJIBWE. You know what? I think I have a graphic right here. Yes, that's the one. OJIBWE. Is that the one that has all the cartoons from the show? Yeah, it has a bunch of cartoons, and it's also got the little cutie story in there. It's kind of expensive, like it's $12 or $13 or something. But it's pretty thick, and it's full color, and it's a nice book. I can stand by that book. Okay, so what do I do? Just click the link below? Yep, that's right. Just click the link below. There's that link to Amazon, and Michael's got other books too. But that's what you got to do for OJIBWE. Okay, thank you very much. You've been so helpful. I'm sorry I interrupted your program. Oops. I mean, I don't know. How do I get? You were saying? I'm so sorry for interrupting your program, but I didn't want to wait to order one of those books. Yeah, go ahead and just click the link. You know, they accept all your credit cards and whatever. Count, what kind of money are you pulling down there if you don't mind me asking, on Sesame Street? On Sesame Street? Are you kidding me? I've been on Sesame Street since the 70s. I am a household name. We are a TV show that runs internationally. I make $26,000 a year. Why? Okay, that's not a whole lot, but if you wanted to support the show, you could also click the link to Patreon, and become a patron. I don't know why they spell it Patreon. I know, I never said that. But some people sign up on Patreon and they support the show like $5 a month or $10 a month or $20 a month, whatever you can afford. Yeah, it's an interest. I would love to help you. I really would, Nanaboozhoo. Yeah, and I don't mean to, I'm kind of saying it for the viewers too. I'm not really asking you directly. Oh yeah, it's just, times are kind of tight. What with the, the economy and everything. Yeah, no, I'm embarrassed. No, yeah. Maybe next month I can support your show. Yeah, no, that'd be great. But I will order one of Michael's books. Hey, Michael, he's going to order one of your books. Thanks, Count. Yes, I can't wait to order a book. That helps the show too, actually. Probably more than a patron. Anyway, anything else I can do for you, Count? No, just you. You've been very helpful. Thank you so much. Let me just say, Gigawabamin, Minowa. Yep, Gigawabamin, Minowa, Count. I will see you again. Okay, that got real awkward real fast. What do you mean? Well, I just kind of wanted to tell him that the Patreon exists and PayPal and our GoFundMe, I mean, I feel stupid. Like, who doesn't know that if you want to support a show on YouTube, that the links, that's how you do it. Anybody who's used the internet for more than a week knows, So I don't want to be one of those guys who wastes valuable, podcast time talking about the obvious things like, hey, give us a thumbs up, share, hit the like button, share, subscribe, leave a comment, whatever. I feel stupid doing that because this is what happens. Oh, you don't like asking for money, do you? I know. I think it was my baby boomer parents. If you have baby boomer parents, you have no skills of talking about money. Baby boomers, they didn't teach their kids anything about money. It was a taboo subject. You'd ask your parents, hey, are we rich? I remember doing this. Because you really don't know when you're a kid. You can't tell that's a used car, whatever. I asked my mom, are we rich? She goes, oh, we're comfortable. Well, that doesn't tell you anything. Never knew how much money my parents made. There was never any discussion. I had to do my own taxes the first time. I had to read my mom was there to ask questions, I guess. But I didn't even know accountants existed until I was like in my 40s. Financial aid, they just don't. I mean, maybe rich people talk to their kids about money. But working class boomer children grow up, you don't talk about money. It's rude to ask how much money a person makes. It's rude. It's gotten to the point, you go to a job interview and the last question I was asked, they're like, do you have any questions for us? And the only question you had the whole day was, how much does this pay? You had a 4-page description of this job and required a background check and a sample of my urine. But at no point did you talk about how much I was going to make if I work here. And still don't feel comfortable asking how much am I going to make if I get this job. They have to give you an offer. Well, this is, we have no control over it. This is set, but you will make this much. Oh, okay. Don't ask. That's rude. Jessica says, it's good to promote the books, though. Not everybody looks at the links in the description of the videos. Yeah, that's probably true, huh? So Michael has this this cool slideshow of his cartoons. Let me make it small. Mino Giga Jabe. So this stuff. It all started with gibberish. Michael wanted to teach Ojibwe language on Facebook using cartoons. And one thing led to another. And here we are. Rocking a live stream 8 o'clock every morning. To our dozens of viewers. We're becoming dozenaires in our bank account. We're 100aires. Like millionaires. Everything is just working out for the Boozhoo Nanaboozhoo podcast. Madwaya Bijigan. A guitar. Boozhoo Memengwa. I don't know, man.
Hey, sweetie.
Yeah?
You got another call.
Really? All right, let me get rid of this slideshow. And caller, welcome to the Boozhoo Nanaboozhoo podcast. The podcast about Ojibwe language and culture.
Animal! Animal!
Oh, Animal, you're huge.
Yeah! Me beat drum! Beat drum!
Yeah, hold on a second. I gotta make you a little. Doesn't anybody look at these before we get started? What can I do for you, Animal?
Yeah, me beat drum!
Yeah, I know you beat drum.
Drum!
Yeah, did you want to know the Ojibwe word for drum?
Yeah, what Ojibwe? Drum!
Easy. Yikes. What's with all these Muppets? They've got like emotional problems. Drum. What you're doing, I think, is shouting Mudway.
Mudway! Mudway!
Yeah, exactly. But the drum itself is a Dawei gun.
Dawei gun! Dawei gun!
Yep. So, you could say Mudway Dawei gun.
Mudway Dawei gun! Mudway Dawei gun!
Yeah, okay. Sweetie, did you want to ask Animal anything?
No, thanks. I'm good.
All right, you lunatic. What can I do for you today?
Me come and show!
Yeah, look, no, there's no way I'm letting a tweaked out drug addict like you anywhere near Natasha, let alone the dogs and stuff. You're unhinged. I don't trust you. I know people think it's cute the way you carry on, but I mean, how old are you now?
Me 46!
Yeah, exactly. Get it together. You've been on the air forever. And this is no way to behave. You make Cookie Monster look, like a reasonable person.
Me on hard drugs!
Yeah, I know. It was 420 yesterday. You should have mellowed out.
Me do harder drugs!
Oh, you on the stuff that killed Prince?
Me on Prince fentanyl!
No, you're not. You sound like you're on cocaine or something, or meth. Or I don't know. Maybe fentanyl does that to
you. Me beat drum!
Yep, you sure do, Neej. Look, I'm going to go. You know how to say that?
Yeah, me watch show.
All right, Animal. I don't know.
Do you think I should have screened calls better?
No, it's not your fault.
I don't know. I could screen the calls better.
Yeah, well, it's kind of funny, I guess. He just freaks me out. There's some stuff on that Muppet Show that's funny. I mean, granted, I can kind of laugh at all the, domestic abuse that Kermit has to endure. I know it's not cool, but sometimes I do laugh when I see naked Kermit getting beaten by Miss Piggy who's wearing clothes. I know it's depraved, you guys, but it doesn't like emotionally affect me, but that old animal, I don't know. He's got like angry, violent energy that throws me.
Yeah.
I don't know. I suspect, like, there was a time when I thought, hey, wouldn't it be cool if we played with the Muppet Show band? We could probably work something out where we're on the Muppet Show. But, I don't know. I'm kind of those guys party too hard.
Yeah. We're sort of laid back here.
Yeah. I think on my most rockin' day, I'm like soft rock.
Do you think so?
Yeah. I like to pretend I'm a hard rocker, but I'm really more of a folk guitar playing kind of guy. Love songs.
Yeah.
I don't wanna. Brandy's telling me not to feel stupid. All right, thanks, Brandy. Jessica Gonzalez, so true. Plus, someone who is watching for the first time because they just stumbled across the channel might not even realize there are books available. Oh, yeah, I suppose. I forget that sometimes we get new viewers. It seems like it's the same people every day. But, so you people. Yeah, so that's how our show got started. In a nutshell, my last words today will be the story of Boozhoo Nanaboozhoo. Back in the days of the grandfathers. We're going on three and a half years now. And Michael had those comic strips. OJIBWE. And these ones. Sometimes he made calendars, coloring books, crazy artistic stuff. There he is right there. I think this is a Christmas card. Manobi ni ba anima e gija good. Merry Christmas. Yeah, there's a bunch of Christmas stuff. And not all these cartoons are in the book. But so this is kind of what happens, the evolution of Michael's comic strips, in a way. Oh, when David Bowie died, we did a comic strip. Here he is just saying, Miigwech, thank you, David Bowie. We're so sad you died. More sad than when Prince died. I know it's a controversial position to take. I just happen to be a bigger Bowie fan than a Kiss fan. I mean, I think like Prince's best songs are better than Bowie's best songs, but there's only like 3 or 4 of those songs. And then all of David Bowie's catalog is better than everything else that Prince ever did. Objectively. Because music can be defined that way. There's a couple of sketches that never got done. Stephen A. Leon. Anyway, well, that's about all the time we have for today, huh, sweetie?
Yeah, I guess that's it. You want to send us out?
Yep. All right, you guys. I just want to say, for the record here, Dog and Main Gun's another book you can buy. It teaches how to count to 10 in Ojibwe. And there's coloring books. Just click the link. And but hey, you know what? Miigwech gana wabi egg. Thank you for watching. Boozhoo Nanaboozhoo, a podcast about Ojibwe language and culture. I am Nanaboozhoo,
And this is Natasha.
and I will see you again. Gigawabamin. Min. Minawa. Awa. Hey, you missed me. I wanted to teleport out of here, but the teleporter was too far over. Okay.
Do 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 do. Ah.
La dee dee da dee da la dee dee dum. La dee dee dum dee dee dum.